things for the new people. Right?
Mm.
I'm the host. Christian's the guest. Okay?
Alright.
Just so the people know. New people, specifically.
The new people, they know.
What's going on? People should subscribe to the channel.
What goes without saying?
If you want more hot take content.
Please subscribe to the channel. Now, speaking of hot take content, Eric.
There we go.
The legendary.
The mythical.
The mythical. Drid's video has dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know who he has advising him, going over this script. But the decision to have 50 minutes of preamble before getting into the actual points is foolish.
Now, to be fair to his advisors,
Yeah.
they did tell him this was a poor mistake. But he
Says it's necessary.
he required it
Why did he require it?
because he wanted to put it there.
Does he not trust the
But
audience?
listen, if you want to see Dritkun's take, go watch the video.
Sure. And for all the new people out there saying we sound the same, we look the same, we are identical twins.
Yes.
Not a coincidence.
But remember, this guy's the host right here.
Okay.
That's all you need to know.
Alright.
Okay?
Alright. Well, there you go. But Dritz's video is out.
Hot topic.
Go watch 6 hours
Of Rambling Man.
of a rambling man making subjective points. Not really. I don't know. It's a weird video. Because I'm like, who is this for? Is it for himself? Is it actually for an audience? Like, who is this video for?
People are watching it, though.
Sure, people are watching it.
Content for content, Christian.
Oh, he's got content. But I don't know if that's his goal, to just to put content out. But
There's some good memes coming out of it, which is good.
what are the good memes?
Well, people get upset at Dritz, obviously.
I mean, that's obvious.
Right? And you know, the boys are defending him.
Yeah.
You know, JD,
I know.
Virgo.
Okay, I know where this is. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And some guy just says, yeah. He's something buddies. Why is the word coming to me? He's
Maybe you don't want to say something you don't want to say.
his hood buddies are defending him.
Hood buddies. What's that?
And then
supposed to mean?
Twitter exploded.
Twitter exploded.
This man instantly cancelled. Claiming he didn't know what it meant, claiming he's not racist, deleted the tweet. Of course, many screenshots.
I mean, to be fair, Dritz is known for wearing a hood. Maybe he meant it in that way.
Who knows? But anyway,
Alright, whatever.
we got first impressions this week, so maybe 3 people are gonna watch the episode.
Apparently this one's a sleeper hit, Eric.
A sleeper hit.
I've seen a lot of comments. I've seen a lot of questions just talking about this. This is my second favorite thing in Jump right now. How you guys haven't done this before? Apparently this is a sleeper hit.
A hitter.
Apparently it's a
Well, it's
sleeper
not
hit.
cancelled yet,
It's got like 80 chapters, Eric.
so that's something.
Yeah. This show is a hit in the Jump terms.
Right.
That it has not been cancelled
So
after
it can't
15
do
chapters.
that badly.
No, apparently it's selling very well.
Okay.
In the top 10 sales for volumes. Now, before we get into that, Eric,
Yeah.
it's now week 3.
Yeah.
And Eric has still read nothing. And he's still done nothing.
That's right. What do you mean by done nothing, Christian?
I'm expecting some sort of take at some point. I'm expecting some sort of rant.
Who knows? Maybe I'll read it all in one day.
I'm expecting some sort of content.
Now, if Morge told me to read it, I'd read it.
You made the deal to the audience and you don't do it. But on other news,
I said I would read it. I didn't say when.
Now, if it falls below a 9 again, this is unfair. Because it's been at this thing for a month. It's been at this level for a month.
Right.
So,
When's it going
to happen? Huh? When's it going to happen? Anyway.
Do you really want the hot take? That's the question.
I'm here.
Okay.
Alright. In other news, I have had a little sneak peek, Eric. At Cancel Lodge Chapter 3.
It's happening. I can confirm.
I have seen a little sketch, a little drawing of a little Dritz vs. Recon. Now, are the newest events gonna impact the plot?
I'm gonna try. This happened last time.
Alright? Because Dritz drops a hard video.
This isn't marketing for Druids, Christian.
I know it's not marketing. I'm just saying it's relevant to community right now.
Right. But will it be relevant in 6 weeks, 16 weeks, or whatever?
Surely some sort of meme about how he wastes people's time. Something like that.
Maybe this was the catalyst for his criminal ranking to increase.
Okay.
To S plus
A bit of law.
plus tier. I can't remember what the rank
Dangerous
is.
opinions, Eric. Dangerous opinions. Power and danger.
Shout out to JB.
Shout out.
Dangerous
Dangerous opinions.
powerful voice. Can't be used for evil.
No. Alright. Well, I think that's... Look, people, I'm not gonna... we know the majority of Dritz's
We
takes.
told you Druids all day, every day.
We had him on the 200th episode. We're friends with Dritz. I did the thumbnail for the video.
Yeah. We know what his takes are.
So, we know what his takes are.
I got the subjectivity versus objectivity in art specifically, and I'm like, this man has no idea what he's talking about.
You see, he makes the argument that, you know, there are rules, there are things to talk about, there are things to do. And also in the video, he's like...
Maybe we'll talk about this at some point, Chris.
what makes me qualified to critique this, right? So in kind of one video, he's kind of devalued his own opinion by saying, I can criticize this because I'm a critic and I can do what I want. And then he also says in the same thing, I'm going to criticize One Piece based on objective standards, which is interesting because you just said there are no experts. So I don't know what I don't know what this contradiction is.
So he's not an expert in the objectivity that he's trying to describe.
Yeah, he says you don't need to be an expert to critique things. And then he says
I think this was
his objective rules.
This is what I think happens.
It's very strange.
And I think this is the disconnect between critics and creators, right?
Yeah.
Specifically about, media and whatever.
Yeah.
It's the critic is deep in genre, pattern, in what they like, what don't they like, etc., right? What should be, what shouldn't be.
Sure.
Right? And the artist very rarely thinks about technique. Right?
Depends on the art.
You think too much about technique, doesn't work.
Well, different art mediums have different strictness. Like there's a very... Like music, it has very strict rules. You can't really break it and expect people to enjoy it.
Right, but how many hits come out of jamming sessions, Christian? No one's on a whiteboard writing the notes down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's a general understanding of how music works.
Yeah.
So the rules are there. The rules of music are there.
But people change it all the time.
Sure, but
People change music.
But music is very interesting because what sounds good is what sounds good, and everyone agrees.
Not everyone agrees.
Everyone agrees what a major chord is and what a minor chord is. Right. Everyone agrees. You can hear it, you can feel it. Music is very interesting that way. Very strict, very rigid. But there's room to move. Different art forms, different things have very different things, Eric. Now don't come to me with your bullshit.
I would say the only
1950s experimental noise, because no one likes that. Stop. Alright? Please.
Well, there is I would say the only objective thing with writing specifically is the literal rules of the English language.
Well, you're trying to convey us. Well,
that is the objective criticism of text. The literal English language on paper.
Well,
is it specifically correct? That is your only objective thing.
I mean, even then.
That's what I said to Dritz. Even then, Shakespeare just made things up.
Even then, like, the differences between English and American language is completely different.
Right, but I'm talking about, like, spelling and grammar.
Yeah, but it's completely different. Different words are spelled differently. So, even then, I know what you're saying, but even then. Alright? Enough rambling.
About a contradicted man.
About a strange video on the internet.
Right.
Alright? Let's get in to however you pronounce this.
Mashle. We'll go with
Mashle.
Mashle. Mashle. I've
Mashle.
heard of Mashle.
I'm gonna assume it's Marshall.
Magic and muscle.
All right. I'm gonna assume it's Marshall.
This might be a hot take episode, Christian.
I assume it will be by the topic. Now, by the way, pre-warning. This is an Eric document, a rare Eric document, and the last time he did this was a complete train wreck.
Christian's getting me to read this, and the
It's
people
his
know that I'm
notes.
blind. So
I've got it magnified by like 300%.
we'll see how we go.
All right, you know what he wrote.
Christian read the first chapter,
I did.
and he's got takes.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. Marshall, magic and muscle.
Yeah.
Really early.
First
in
chapter.
its development.
Again,
We only-
first chapter only, people.
We only look at the first chapter.
All right? We're not doing the first volume.
Okay.
All right? We're not doing some arbitrary amount of
Now,
chapters.
Interesting time period.
First chapter.
Because this came out, 2020?
2020.
It gives a lens to what we're going to talk about later with other series. I think. But, yeah, relatively new in its birth. Some 80 chapters. Not
Yeah.
even at 100 yet.
No.
Maybe this is a secret hitter. You know?
Apparently, people love this series, Eric.
Okay.
No one really talks about it, but it's more underground.
It's like Hunter x Hunter when everyone loves it but no one's willing to make a video on it. Is it like that?
No, because people make Hunter x Hunter videos.
Do they?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen no videos on this.
Where's
series.
Brago's one?
I don't know.
He loves Hunter x Hunter, but there's no Hunter x Hunter content, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Chapter
we
1.
begin, Christian, with the legendary, with the mythical.
The face. I want to again. You keep on bringing up this term.
This isn't really fake death. It's just it's just an explanation of what the
world
is. You know, magic. If you're people are born with magic. Everyone's born with magic. Apparently, Christian.
Everyone.
Except one character.
Except for Deku. Oh wait.
That aside.
So except for Rock Lee.
So the amount of magic you have dictates
Yeah.
your social status.
Social status,
and, you
yeah.
know, where you are in society. And all
But
that
kind of
thing.
much like Harry Potter, you could say.
Very much Harry Potter
Very
vibes.
This shows a lot of things mixed together, and maybe we could get into genre, homage,
The line between parody
parody,
and
and
what's going on.
on. Yeah,
All right. So it explains that.
yeah.
Next page. Marshall on the bench, lifting heavy weights.
Yeah,
Real quick.
real quick.
What do you think about this design?
All I can think about is a mixture between Saitama and Mob from All-Star 1 and the remakes.
Right. How do you feel? How do you feel about the art in general? I think it.
It's a mix between
I
some
think
great stuff and some weird choices.
I think it works with the tone and subject matter, because it's almost.
Yeah, but I gotta.
It's on the edge of like almost adolescent kind of drawings. You know what I mean? Kind of a little bit unrefined in form.
Yeah, I would say that. A little unrefined, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
In form specifically.
yeah.
Yeah, he's on the bench. He's working hard, Christian, lifting weights fast, quick.
Yeah.
And then he gets off the bench and he eats cream puffs.
Loves cream
Which
puffs.
is going to be the bit. Which is going to be his thing.
He just like softly nibbles on cream puffs.
Right.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name? Regrow? Is that what we're going with?
Red grower,
Right.
red grower.
So we cut to the house that they live in.
Yeah.
Red grower, old man, some kind of wizard-like guy, bald.
Well, you know.
This strange beard going on. I don't know what's the situation. Kind of
It's
just
like-
stapled on.
Yeah. It's like a fake beard.
I can see a bit where someone just pulls it off.
Yeah, it's like a fake beard.
But anyway,
Weird.
he breaks the fourth wall. He's talking about how he's a simple man.
Now, Eric, I'm gonna stop you right here.
Mm-hmm.
Side profiles.
Yes.
Very strange. Very weird. Noses. Way too long. Don't know what that is. Not really emphasized in the, 3/4 shots or whatever.
And that's what we were talking about with
Yeah.
like the unrefined nature of the art.
Yeah.
It's like...
And we're not talking about the purposefully meme panels. We're talking about the regular panels.
And we're not really talking about the line work or whatever. We're talking about specifically the characters and how they're drawn. Yeah. It's a little bit off.
Yeah.
It's a little bit off model every time. It's a little bit like missing... Would you say it's missing depth? It's
like it's wonky. It's not ruled. Yeah. It's not symmetrical. It's off.
And even the bodies are a little bit off.
Yeah, everything's a little off.
And, there's a specific panel when I'm pointing down.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird panel.
Sure. There's a lot of weird panels. A lot of interesting things going on here. But is it intentional? Is it part of the...
Does it work with the comical in nature?
Is it an homage to One and One Punch Man's weird art style? Maybe. Very strange. Kind of don't really know what... It kind of adds to its like mystique aura. Like, what is this?
Yeah, it's awful.
Because it doesn't look like it should fit in Jump. Like, well, how is it showing Jump?
Right.
You kind of like... It's a weird comedy. It kind of feels like it's outside of the industry.
Half parody.
Like, it doesn't have that Shonen Jump polish that, well, you know, like 50 editors have seen it. It seems very, like, webtoon-esque.
And that kind of comes through with the immediate fourth wall break.
Sure.
Of this man talking to us about who he is and the social status of magic. And
explains the situation, Eric.
Where are we?
Marshall breaks through the door.
Marshall busts through the door, rips the door off the hinges. Comedy ensures, Christian.
Nani,
he's dumb.
Yeah.
But he's kind-hearted.
I don't know that he's dumb. He's more unaware.
Right, he's trying to put the door back, but he's putting it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Guy's screaming.
What do you think about this Japanese scream humor? It's very Japanese. I don't know that it translates to the West, the scream humor. Of like, Nani, you put it the wrong way. Like, it's a very Japanese attempted humor. But, I don't know. It's supposed to be a comedy, right? What... Okay, maybe we'll get to this at the end, but what parts did you find funny in the first chapter?
Okay.
I've got a few answers to that. Humorous. You know, gave you a smirk, made me not laugh out loud. Because, you know, you're reading something, you're not really going to laugh out loud at it. Even in One Piece, I don't laugh out loud. Even in the great bits.
That Zoro bit was a good bit.
It was a good bit. But even in the great One Piece bits, I don't laugh out loud.
Right.
So maybe... What part... We'll get to... Maybe at the end, we'll say what parts we thought were genuinely funny. Because, you know, this is a comedy series.
Right.
Comedy action, you would say. So, yeah.
Marshall's got no magic powers, Christian, but his, like, father figure makes him train, lift weights, and forbids him to go into the city. Marshall agrees, I'm not going into the city.
Now, is it going to turn out that this man is some sort of legendary...
wizard.
Ultimate form of humanity, but doesn't have magic? So he's got all the body feats.
Does he have, like, body magic, though?
They kind of say that he's got no marks, so he's got no magic.
Right.
But also they want to kill him because he needs to get out of the gene pool.
You can't have inferior genes in the gene pool.
Which is
strange.
A suspect, very suspect system. I don't know what
this policeman.
I don't know what kind of eugenics is going on in the society.
Right.
Alright. It's very strange. Yeah.
Marshall goes to the city anyway to get some special cream puffs that he likes from a chef.
Yeah.
He gets the cream puffs.
Loves the cream puffs. Right?
Eats them. He's in the city. What do you think about this city? Is it?
It's very London-esque. Again,
yeah, it's very Harry Potter.
Harry Potter-esque.
Do you feel like the illustrations set the scene properly?
Well, what do we get? We get like a long panel shot
just basically
of like
long corridors, long alleyways of crowds, and like the buildings are shaped oddly, but
yeah, I get a feeling. I get the sense of where we're at, what we're doing. Yeah.
So we cut to a cop reading the paper about a special student.
Yeah.
Who's like buff in magic.
The amount of times Eric drops his phone during an episode.
Yeah. Well, it happens once.
Is out of control.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Did we get a guy? Did we get a name for this guy, or did he go unnamed the entire time?
Who the shitty cop?
Yeah, the boss cop. Because I couldn't find a name.
I don't know. We'll get a name right now, but
Right,
yeah,
so we're gonna go back boss cop.
boss cop. All right.
Oh, he's in Shadowed. He's like torturing a guy for petty crimes.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Bad guy.
Bad guy.
He's jealous of this kid because
He's chomping on a cigar, but Eric, his mouth is way too small. Now, is that part of the comedy?
Maybe it's.
I don't know.
It's strange. Everything's a little bit strange.
That's what I mean by like I don't know what's part of the comedy and what's just like weird art.
Right. And basically setting up this guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And kind of the context of like, he's jealous of this kid because he's got the magic talent, which gives him the class, which he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Then we cut back to Mashle. He runs into another cop, some fat guy.
Yeah.
Bumps into him. Cop's like, "What are you doing? You can't bump into me."
I'm a cop.
Gets some cream on his shirt.
Sure.
Marshall rips his shirt off. He's gonna clean it.
Yeah.
But the shirt's destroyed.
Yeah.
He's gonna get arrested.
Yeah.
The boss cop turns up.
We're at his house.
Right. The father grabs him. "I'm sorry. You shouldn't be here." We get back to the house. "Marshall, why'd you go to the town? You shouldn't have gone to the town."
Yeah.
Boss cop turns up.
Yeah.
Before that, the old man tells him to go lift some weights as punishment.
Of course.
Right.
You gotta lift those weights.
The old man's getting fucked up. "Where's the kid without the mark? I need this big break."
Yeah.
All these kind of things. The old man won't let him up. Marshall comes in, slaps these guys up.
Yeah, literally slaps him.
Slaps them silly.
Yeah. Rips the guy's shirt off again.
The boss cop shoots a magic beam with his wand.
Marshall's
Marshall
just
slaps
playing
it out of the
basketball
way.
with it. He's playing basketball with it.
One Punch Man face.
100%. One punch.
Same thing happens again with a new magic attack that's supposed to kill dragons.
Yeah.
Slaps it away.
Starts bouncing with it. Starts playing with it.
All these kind of things. Does a volleyball move.
Yeah.
Right? Another shocked face.
Yeah.
And then Marshall like throws the wand at him. And then a deal is struck. Join the academy.
The magic school.
The magic school.
Yeah.
Win the fucking God's blessing, which is, be
the cup or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, be the best student.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'll let you go.
And I'll let you go.
And your father.
And in exchange, I won't hunt you anymore, but also I get all the money and the fame for backing you.
Okay.
And then the deal is struck.
Marshall's going off to college. How's the other...
With a double-page spread of the
academy.
The academy, which looks nice.
It does. Now, action comedy. First of all, the comedy.
What?
What parts did you find funny?
Him like ripping off the cop's shirt was alright.
The second time, I thought it was... Then it was funny.
Yeah.
Because the callback,
Right.
Not the second uniform. I thought that was genuinely funny. But, again, Japanese scream humor. Does that really work in manga form?
Right.
You don't really get the crazy voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very hard to do comedy in straight text.
Right.
Like in anime form, I'm sure it'd be way funnier. But again, there's that. So the comedy is okay. I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say it fails at the comedy. The action, I think he does speed well.
Yeah.
You could tell the multiple attacks, the slaps, the sense of power. I think he does a well, good line work on the action. So he's got decent comedy, decent action. Now, we cannot talk about this series without talking about One Punch Man.
Right.
Because there's serious parallels, calls, stylistic choices.
Borrowing of bits.
Boring of bits with the meme faces.
Same bit.
Yeah. It'd be like if someone did, like, Oda's and Null face.
Right.
Like, we know Oda does that. That's Oda's thing. And then, this author does it. Now, do we know anything about this author? Not really. No. So yeah, because supposed to do the research, you do the research. Well, anyway. Obviously connected to Harry Potter.
Are you interested?
I don't know that a comedy manga is for me. You know what I mean? I don't know that I'm really gonna get invested in the characters when the whole point is comedy. You know what I mean? It's not like the point of the show is comedy. Is it to save his grandfather? Not really. Is it to get Super Saiyan? Not really.
Maybe.
This man's already the strongest being, right? He doesn't struggle in anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of genre. OPMC, that's kind of aloof, kind of
Oblivious.
clueless. Yeah.
It might be about the other characters though, Christian.
It could
Just
be.
like
We don't know. But right now, it seems to be more about the comedy.
Right.
I'm not necessarily sure I can get invested in a straight comedy series. It's why a lot of people struggle to get invested in Gintama. Because there's just so much comedy, you don't know what to take seriously. Like, the bits impact this, the bits impact that. Even hype moments, you're like, yeah, but you just did a bit. There's no drama. It's hard to get invested in a straight comedy series.
Mm-hmm.
But, interesting first chapter. Very short first chapter, Eric.
Didn't overstay its welcome.
Didn't overstay its welcome, which we like to see.
Right.
What do you reckon? Out of 10. It's solid.
I'm trying to think what we gave other series, you know?
I think it's in that 6 out of 10 range. It does what it does. It's solid. It passes, surely. It does what it does. It's a good series, right? It's good. I want to say this is a great first chapter. Sure, you get a taste of a little everything. You get a taste of the comedy, taste of the action, taste of the main character. But there's no, like, it's everything we've seen before. There's no real, like, big shock. He's an adopted child. He cares about his father. You know, he loves his father. He's very powerful, very strong. Gets taken advantage of. Kind of similar to Chainsaw Man in that kind of respect. But, like, on the opposite end of the depression spectrum. Chainsaw Man very depressing, which is why I made it different.
Sure.
Very dire, dark tone. This is a very lightweight, easy to read tone.
Yeah.
With some pretty cool action. Alright? So
The combat might be interesting, you know?
it seems like, I don't know how the magic system actually works. Is it basically Harry Potter where it's just like you say the words, you do the one thing and the beam shoots out?
I think so.
Is there different kinds of conjuring and shit, potions and all that?
Who knows?
I would assume that, but we didn't really get a taste of that in the first chapter. So I'm gonna say 6 out of 10 for this one.
Yeah, I agree.
6 out of 10. All right.
There it is.
Don't get mad at us that we only read one chapter. That's what we do here. It's about the first experience. If I saw this in Jump, the first chapter, which is very dire for Jump, you have to succeed fast in Jump.
Yeah.
Otherwise you get cancelled. Cancelled. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
So we look back at what was happening at the time. The first chapter, it found success, so it's doing something right. So we can't really knock it on that.
There's something there. It doesn't fail, right?
Yeah. It doesn't fail. So, good first chapter. Right? And maybe one day this will be one of the new big three. I can see kind of filling that Gintama role. Because Jump's kind of struggling with the comedy ever since Gintama left.
Right.
A lot of series come and go in the comedy genre. It's very hard to get the comedy right.
Yeah.
It's hard to get comedy working in Jump. Like a straight comedy series. Normally there's like the big 3 action series, the comedy series, the teen romance series.
Various harems.
And various harems.
Yes.
Right? And that's what Jump is. But there you go. Now moving on, Eric.
And sports, but...
Yeah, and sport. At least one sport. All right. Moving on. Now showing Shanks. Showing Shanks. How strong is Shanks, Eric? Every week, we come to you with the question of, how strong is Shanks?
Yes.
And every week we answer, Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God King. But there are people out there.
Foolish people.
Who haven't heard the word of Shanks. Who deny the truth. That Shanks is the strongest the cookie. You know? There are people out there, Eric, who still think Kaido's the strongest.
Down bad.
I'm going to give you the classic criticism. Go reread the classic.
Cup.
There are people out there who think Blackbeard is the strongest. Where's that third devil fruit, Eric? Where is it?
I haven't seen it.
There are some people out there that think Drag is the strongest.
Can't go through it.
These people are far few in between, but they do exist.
They dwindle.
They dwindle in numbers.
Year by year, they dwindle.
Sure. There are people out there, Eric, who think Sweatiest man on the planet Arcade is the strongest.
Okay, no.
There are even the select few, the scant few, Eric. As Kaido once said. And this man was not on his list, Eric, and that's Mihawk. How can a man be the strongest and not be in Kaido's list? How can this be? How could this be? This can't be.
Fraudulent.
And the worst of them all, Eric, the people out there that think Aimu's the strongest. His name's Aimu. Come on, Aimu, what are you doing? Aimu? That your intimidating villain name?
Will transform into rocks.
I mean, maybe. But there you go. But they're wrong, they're incorrect. And every week we bring 100% factual information to the table, Eric.
Facts.
Straight from the manga. This week's evidence is Shanks is so strong. That blasphemous series, Eric. That we don't even mention names of, Eric. Blasphemous series. Try to steal his essence. Try to steal his power. And smuggle it into their own manga. In hopes that they can get success. That they can gain success.
Fraud. Fraudulent.
The biggest
Sin.
heinous heresy, Eric,
Crime.
against Shanks is to steal his likeness and try and claim his power as your own. Can't do that, Eric. Shanks is the strongest, Shanks is the God King. Now moving on, the topic of the show. Homage versus stealing. Alright, there it is. Now, Eric, this is obviously connected to what we just read.
Yes, because our friend here steals the One Punch Man bit specifically.
Now, in the comedy scene, very frowned upon to steal a bit.
Right.
Very frowned upon to steal a bit. But here's my question, Eric. When does a certain style become a genre and then okay to use?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Has One Punch Man become its own genre?
That style of comedy action. That style of OP.
The main character.
OP main character. I don't know if we're there yet. Because the two series that have done it are by the same author. Alright, you can argue that like this anime called like Sakamoto Days with this guy's kind of like this. You can make that argument. He's like great at everything. He doesn't really know what's going on.
How do you feel about it, Christian? If you want to do a direct reference to something,
Yeah.
do you come conflicted?
But here's my question. Why would you do a direct reference? A direct thing? Like every time I do like references, they're always like background bullshit. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's still like a core pillar of the series, which is a reference.
Well, you haven't done the Anal face, for example.
No. and that wouldn't fit. Like I haven't done the One Punch Man thing either. So like, is it that it's the One Punch Man thing, or is it that it's just the zeitgeist? It's in the public domain, therefore you can use it. You know what I mean? Is that a fair thing to say?
It's difficult, right?
Yeah.
Watch Man, because it's fairly new, somewhat of a novel idea,
Yeah.
and here we are doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So, difficult question to answer, but it doesn't feel right, does it?
No, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't. It feels like someone trying to steal a joke. Like if it was just like if it's like some bullshit like the story structure of stories.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thing.
Right.
Everyone does that.
But it's blatant here.
But it's obviously from One Punch Man.
Right.
And it's to elicit the same emotion. It's not memeing One Punch Man. It's not elevating One Punch Man.
So
it's stealing the bit.
It's not a parody of One Punch Man. It's the same bit.
It's taking the bit and not even making it its own because it's in the same kind of context.
Yeah, it's literally the same joke.
Yeah. I'm surprised that this, I used my biggest attack, it didn't work. What is this? I'm disappointed in my thing.
I did a big speech and not,
Yeah. So it's a direct reference. It's not even, it's like a direct steal, basically.
It's not even a reference.
No, it's it's a steal. So it's...
I don't know, what does the comment section think about it?
I don't know.
What's Heavy want?
Heavy gives us 250, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
A penance. Alright?
Inflation's coming in hard.
Inflation's coming in hard. And, she mentions a name that is blasphemous, Eric. She mentions a name that shall not be said.
Right.
And I will not say it. This is a blasphemous name. The fact that I had to read it enrages me. It angers me. But it's the burn of the host, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
For you.
It's the burn of the host. Alright? So there you go. It's a hard question to answer, but I think if you feel it, if you know it, then it's stealing.
Right.
Like, sure, bring it to a court of law, they're gonna say whatever. But like he doesn't even try to expand it or use it in a different way. It's like literally taken. Like he stole the bit. Which is a big no-no, Eric. You don't do that.
Yes.
Anyway, just an interesting little thing to maybe think about with this series. Could you relate its popularity to that bit and that style of comedy, that kind of character? Could you relate that to its popularity? Is it filling a gap in the market where, One Punch Man, I think the webcomics at least almost finished. So, and I think Mob Psycho's finished. So, it's hard to say, like, I don't necessarily, like, the only blatant thing you could say is that face is the steal. You can't say the character or the setting or, like, the magic system because those are pretty general things. Like, London exists. J.K. Rowling didn't invent London.
Right, and something like the
J.K. Rowling didn't invent
London.
Wizards and magic and wands.
Yeah. Basically, what I was gonna say is the setting of basically Hogwarts is set up as a parody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's a spin on Hogwarts and
magic. Yeah,
a parody take on Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
And the whole thing's really a parody take on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the bit is specifically just lifted. There's no twist.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the problem. So
there you go.
Something to think about. Now moving on to Thunderdome. This week, Eric, a spicy hot take. Now I believe we had a Twitter poll about this.
Mm-hmm.
Marco versus Katakuri.
Interesting.
First commanders. Both ridiculous devil fruits. Maybe Marco has a more ridiculous devil fruit. But we're seeing the limits of Marco here in Onigashima. He doesn't really get tired in Marineford. Like, he doesn't really run out of juice in Marineford. He has run out of juice in Onigashima.
Right.
So we know it's possible, and Oda has said it is possible for Marco to run out of juice. Alright?
Yes.
Now, King managed to cut off Marco's wing, and it did not grow back. Right? So what does that say? He seems fine, though. He doesn't seem extremely
His
damaged.
arms are cut off.
No. But you would assume Haki from King, right?
One would assume.
One would assume Haki from King. I'm
Right.
just gonna...
But he's at a swordsman, Christian.
So he's not a swordsman.
So who knows if you can put Haki on a sword?
And then we know Katakuri, 12 hours Monkey D, Eric. We know that Future Sight is crazy. We don't necessarily know Marco's
Level
of observation.
Haki.
And I've heard these arguments before with Marco. Like, if Marco had Future Sight, why didn't he foresee Ace doing stupid shit? Why didn't he stop Alcaino?
Right.
All that kind of shit. Why didn't he stop Blackbeard?
Why does he have the pre-break situation?
You could maybe make the argument that he does. But it's hard to say Marco has a semblance of Future Sight. He's got observation. No doubt he's got observation and armament. There's no doubt about that. But does he have the Katakuri level of Future Sight? And if he doesn't, he can't really hurt Katakuri.
So, Marco fought King and Queen for a number of minutes.
Number of hours. Maybe a number of minutes. I'm not really sure on the timeline.
Back and forth combos, basically holding him off, get him out of the way.
Yeah.
Letting the Straw Hats get up to the rooftop.
That flying knee.
Who can forget?
All
the
right.
weird magic fireball thing.
The weird concussive fireball weirdness. Yeah. It's...
Katakuri has more range.
But like, you're talking about Awakening. The Galaxy Donuts.
The donuts.
I just don't...
Does the sticky factor take out Marco's flight?
I think Katakuri could spawn these donuts anywhere, so that kind of takes out the flight aspect.
Right.
And it's not like Marco can really shoot beams either.
You can shoot fireballs.
Yeah, but like, are they part of him? He pulls out a feather.
Does some kind of magic
Does some magic spell shit. I don't really know what that means. Is he sacrificing his flames to do
does that feather cost stamina?
It's very strange move from Marco, that fireball. So, I think Katakuri has the upper hand in the matchup.
Does he have the ability to do enough damage?
The donuts, Eric. The block mochi. Katakuri's crazy level of observation.
Buzzcut mochi.
Eric, people are going to bring up the meme that Marco will just bloom during this battle, which is not how power scaling works.
Katakuri will just bloom as well until they.
And we're not going to bring that up.
It's an annoying point.
You can't really bring that up when you're doing power scaling stuff because it'll never end.
Right.
So as they are currently, I think I'm going to have to go Katakuri, Eric. Now people are going to say he held off Queen and King, but again, King and Queen, very straightforward fighters, physical fighters.
I don't know.
No X Factor, Eric.
I don't know if
What?
Katakuri has the stamina to match Marco.
Why not 12 hours?
And I don't know
12-hour fighter.
that he can do enough output to outlast Marco.
12 hours.
Infinite regen.
Not infinite regen.
Is Marco gonna dodge or block, or has he got the Hawkins syndrome?
No, he's got to do what he has to do.
Right.
But Marco, not infinite stamina, Eric. He got hits. He gets hits and he's getting tired.
But surely he's got more stamina than Katakuri as a given, just because of his devil fruit.
Sure,
right?
but I don't know if Marco can even do that much to Katakuri. Again, Katakuri could theoretically goon and outrange Marco to the point where Marco can't even get in.
Right.
Marco has to struggle to get in, has to attack Katakuri. That's a very powerful thing about Katakuri. Very broken X Factor and physical feats.
Right.
King and Queen, very physical, very tough. All right, and we saw them outlast Marco.
Low X Factor, although Queen is something else.
Queen, I don't know what the fuck's
Maybe
going
high
on.
X Factor on Queen.
I mean, it's all physical shit, so
Yeah,
not really
sure.
X Factor, devil from nonsense.
With some lasers and stuff.
Sure. But there's no X Factor, so you have to go Katakuri. Because I don't see how Marco can get in. We know the healing factor is limited.
Does the Future Sight carry Katakuri in this
100%.
fight?
Without Future Sight, Katakuri will lose. Because of the stamina
Yeah.
of Marco.
And the power. They're probably about the same
Probably,
power.
we can say equal power.
Right.
I'm not going to put that either way.
Right.
But due to the defensive things about Katakuri's Future Sight, and plus his Devil Fruit, which makes him even more broken, how does Marco outlast that? With Katakuri has the range, has the power, has everything. I don't understand how Marco wins this. Alright? Controversial take, I guess.
Right.
But there you go. Gonna have to go Katakuri.
I don't know if, Marco's got that blinding speed to catch Katakuri anyway, you know? People are going to argue that you don't necessarily need Future Sight, right?
Oh, that Snake Man argument.
Yeah, but, like, Marco doesn't have that blinding speed to match.
I mean, the knee's pretty fast, Eric.
I mean, yeah,
How fast is
that's
that
a
knee?
dissenting straight line drop.
But how fast is that knee?
I don't know.
Right.
But, there you go.
Yeah. Alright.
I think Katakuri wins.
Katakuri. Moving on to questions. A few questions from the audience. We'll get into it. Questions from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
From Blizz. Can't believe y'all haven't done Sakamoto Days. Most enjoyable read behind One Piece every week. That was the other series I was talking about. It's very similar to this.
But,
In many ways. Alright? From Tristan Hitchens. I'm very glad you're doing Marshall. As a co-reader, how do you all feel about the character design and facial expressions in Chapter 1? Yeah, we kind of went over this. It's hard to tell what's a bit and what's not a bit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Is the weird designs part of the charm?
But it does give it that,
Yeah.
parody flavor.
Sure.
So, yeah.
From which, this and Undead Unluck are my current favorite series in Jump. I told you, Eric, people enjoy the series very much.
Okay.
Alright? From Harvest and Berry. Can you look past terrible power scaling on the author's part if it results in good fights / moments? A philosophical question, and we always bring it up, Eric. The hype versus the arse pull ratio.
Metrics.
Is it hype enough to outweigh the arse pull?
Gone.
People will agree. People say gone.
Perfect example.
It's
this
so
man's
hype.
question.
It's so hype that it doesn't matter.
Pascal's blown out of the water.
No, it blows Pascal out of the water. It kind of ruins Hunter x Hunter. But people don't want to bring that up. People don't want to talk about that.
But it's very hype.
And that's a very dangerous opinion on
Right.
That I'm saying.
A dangerous and brave opinion.
a dangerous and brave opinion to
Right.
criticize Togashi.
Now, you better watch that, Christian, because you have the power. Your power needs to be in check.
Because it
and
can
not be
change
negative.
tides, Eric.
Right,
It
right.
can change tides. We'll keep that in check. So, you're trying to balance excitement with being realistic, basically.
When you think about rawness, where does rawness come into the fight?
Rawness. Well, that's the match character motivations. You can't just have like a character just kill someone out of nowhere, you know. So it's that kind of logic. Like, is this hype? It's a balance between excitement and expectations and being realistic and being reasonable.
Right.
You know, you're not trying to break the suspension of disbelief by going too far.
Well,
But you are trying to excite
the
people.
further you go out of the power scale norm, the more hype it has to be.
Yeah. But there you go.
And if you get the right balance, you get away with it.
From Des Boop. Opinion on the art. Really dig the art in Marshall, especially how the hands are drawn. If you could choose another setting towards... Alright, first question. How do you feel about the art?
Not sure if it's a bit.
That's what I mean. I'm not sure if it's a bit. Because some parts are drawn really well. And some parts aren't sort of drawn that well. Again, that guy's mouth is too small.
Right.
But is that a bit? I'm laughing at it, but I don't know if it's part of the comedy.
What?
It could be part of the comedy, but there you go.
What do you think about the hands specifically?
They're okay. I don't know that.
Right.
I don't remember noting them as spectacular or something. But yeah. And if you could choose another series, if you could choose another setting towards this type of manga, what would you choose? Ninja, samurai, or medieval? Like, what kind of genre, what kind of setting would you place this kind of genre in? That One Punch Man genre.
Ninja.
So like a meme, Naruto kind of thing.
Yeah, you could do obstacle courses and hit people in the dick and stuff, you know.
Of course.
Classic.
I'm sure it exists somewhere in the manga history, Eric.
Right.
Yeah. Alright. So there you go. From Mustafa, this series is really funny. Hope you all are enjoying it. No, not a question, but we appreciate the well wishes. Moving on from Michael J. Do you think that we'll get a party after Wano? We haven't had one since Dressrosa, and Luffy has said multiple times that they're not having one.
Right.
They have one after beating Kaido. But the introduction of the invasion and Robert kidnapping could postpone.
I was going to say the Navy puts a little bit of a spanner in the works, but the Big Mom inclusion also puts.
Also that.
So
very strange.
We'll see how it gets resolved. I expect one.
Death of certain characters might put a damper on things. You would assume.
No one's dying.
Kinemon's not dead. You telling me Kinemon's not dead right now?
Listen, get ready.
Unless the magical healer literally has healing powers. Alright? Unless that...
Hey, listen, Pound's still alive.
But we saw the sword go through Kinemon's body. We did.
Or was it like a Sephiroth Mario situation?
We saw him impaled on the ground by the sword.
Missed all the organs.
We saw him get Ragnaroku'd in the head.
I did see that.
Alright? We saw him get Ragnaroku'd in the head.
Kinemon's not dead. I hope you know that.
We saw him get stabbed through the entire body and pinned to the floor.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. Is Kiku dead? Kiku seems dead.
Kiku's not dead. Ashura Doji's not dead.
Well, Ashura Doji is kind of a meme. I think it's possible Kiku's dead. The most likely.
I'll be shocked if Kinemon's actually dead.
Alright. There you go.
Hey, don't forget Zabu's dead too, okay?
Yeah, but that's obviously a meme.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. From Sly Dog, when do you think people will finally understand that Shanks is the strongest Shanks to go king?
When he's on screen. And just like many people in the Bible, they had to touch and feel the holes in the side, Christian, and where the nails went through.
That's right.
But we are true believers.
That's right.
We don't need the proof. We have the proof, in fact.
Once Shanks appears on screen,
there's literally canon evidence, and people don't want to take it.
Top 5.
Top 5. Oh, but the context of the world.
What happened to the betrayal argument, Eric?
And it falls out the window.
The portrayal argument.
The context.
See, all the frauds that come at me saying feats don't matter, it's all about betrayal. And then we bring up the top 5, then it doesn't matter. Then the betrayal doesn't matter, Eric.
Right.
But I thought it's all about betrayal.
But the context is different, Christian, because Kaido's math, Big Mom's not in there, Garp's not in there.
If power scaling is indeed all about betrayal, you cannot deny that Shanks is the strongest man alive. They cannot be denied.
I mean, he's the only one alive on the list.
Exactly. So it cannot be denied. It's ridiculous at this point.
The contest is literally how far can Luffy go? How high is this man's ceiling?
These people are slippery.
Prime Roger. Prime Whitebeard.
So people like Dritz, right?
And people want to talk about Oda being on the list, right? I think Oda thinks Odin is that dude.
Yeah, legit. But anyway. So people like Dritz, Eric, say betrayal is the only thing that matters. Right?
Right.
Why doesn't he accept that
Shanks is the strongest? He does bring up context a lot, though. He always
but why does he not accept Shanks as the strongest?
I don't know. Because it's not part of his agenda.
He's not part of his Mihawk agenda.
Mihawk was on the list. And Shanks wasn't.
If Mihawk was on the list, no one would shut the fuck up about it.
I know. It's classic.
It's classic. If Arcane was on the list,
If Garp was on the list,
Exactly. But anyway. From Zagai. Why didn't you do this sooner? People are asking for this. Apparently people are hungry for this content, Eric.
I've seen it around. I haven't heard anyone talk about it though.
That's what I mean. It's very low key.
Right.
Very underground. Right?
It's that hitter that everyone's hiding.
Yeah. Alright, apparently. From Dart. This is an action comedy type story. What are some comedy rules that you think should be followed?
Comedy rules.
Comedy rules. Here's the thing about comedy rules. They don't really exist as long as it's funny. You know what I mean? And that's kind of subjective as fuck, but you know.
Well, there are techniques.
Sure, there's different ways to elicit humor, right?
Right.
But if it's a comedy action and you want me to take the action seriously, keep the comedy out of the fights. Unless it's the point. Unless the fights, it's comedic in that kind of way.
Right.
But if you want me to care and feel dread and danger about the fights, keep the comedy out of it.
Okay.
Keep like the meme shit out of it. But yeah. Also, any thoughts on the Harry Potter series? I've only seen the movie.
Not bad. We've always said this. The wands are shit.
That's lame, dude.
A staff or just shoot it from your hands. Why you got a stupid wand?
Little tiny little
stick.
Little stick. Lame. But anyway. Apparently in the insanely powerful wizards don't even need a wand.
Yeah.
Alright. So you got a bigger you got a big dick, you don't need a wand.
That's right.
Alright. So how many movies have I seen? I've seen
I've seen like the last 3 or whatever, you know.
I've seen 1, 2, 3, half of 4, and like half of 5. You know, the Dragon Cup.
And now, of course, they're not airing on TV anymore because, you know, JK's in trouble.
Certain.
When was the last time you see a run on TV?
That's true.
They used to run all the time. Round the clock, 24/7.
Maybe she's old. They're running all the Marvel shit now.
Yeah.
They're not running Harry Potter anymore. They're not running Back to the Future, Eric.
Right.
And they're not running the classics anymore. They're just running Marvel.
Right.
Which is, it is what it is there. Right. Next question. From what? How much is possible for fights to conclude in 5 or less OP time? Like how much?
What?
How much of the fights are possible to conclude in 5 minutes? So we've got 5 minutes left of this fucking Onigashima bullshit.
Yeah, but it won't be, though.
Yeah, because Momonosuke's gonna be holding up and struggling while they get the fight done.
The fights will end when the sun rises.
Sun rises. Well, Luffy's fight will end.
Yeah.
Maybe Zoro and Sanji could deal with Rob Gucci, you know what I'm saying? Maybe
I don't know if Rob Gucci's even there, Christian.
Maybe. Bowler Hat Man. Protect your weapon.
That's for Frankie.
Frankie.
Yeah.
Interesting. Alright. Some people think he's the mastermind.
Some people think the world government and Navy are competent.
That's not us.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. From
From what? From who?
I never know how to say this name.
Right.
All Sora. Considering this week's topic, I'm curious what you guys think about magic being used as a power system. No chakra, no Ryatsu, not ki, just magic, like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, etc. Do you guys think it's a lazy power system? Here's the thing. There are hard magic systems and there are soft magic systems. Very loose. This is a very loose magic system.
Right.
Meaning you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Very few rules.
I mean,
very mysterious.
Take Harry Potter for example, right?
Yeah.
The spells are established before they're used. No one ever pulls a spell out of their ass.
They do, but they do sometimes. They pull some random shit.
Right, but like
just do like very specific things.
Harry's trying to learn fucking Leviosa, and that's the part of the plot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I come up with a spell.
Yeah, but again, you haven't seen the latest movies where they're shooting beams.
Okay.
You know, they're just shooting beams out of it. Sure. Got like beam clashes and shit.
Yeah, that's hype.
Alright. But there you go. So it's a loose magic system. Now, all magic systems should remain mysterious. Otherwise,
How do you do it? Do you just like somehow get the things you want to use in combat out of combat before the fight starts, so it doesn't seem
here's
like
what
an
you
ass pull?
actually do. You set very vague, very nebulous rules. Very loose, very open rules. So then you can have mystery. Characters are still learning things. Because if it's all set in stone and there's no room to maneuver, no room to grow,
Right.
it gets very stale.
I put it this way: a fight's maybe like a chess match, right?
Yeah.
You know what each piece does, but establish what the pieces do before you start the game.
Yeah, I agree. Right. A few rules, maybe not all
Don't
rules.
throw in a magic
Extra fourth
piece.
element. Yeah.
Don't throw in a magic piece that can do whatever you like to solve the situation in the middle of the game.
No.
That's not fair.
Yeah. And I would call a soft magic system lazy. I would say it's like it's a double-edged sword.
Depends what you want to do.
Because then you have to literally explain everything, every new thing.
It's annoying.
It's annoying as fuck. Because it's a soft magic system. I summon this creature, then you have to explain summoning, instead of just having a set rule about the magic system where you can just go, I set the rule fucking 200 chapters ago. It's still the same. This works off that. You get what's going on. Quick shorthands, all that kind of stuff.
What?
So a soft magic system requires more explanation during the series. Where like a hard magic system with rules and
A lot more
establishment at the start, and then you can do shorthands because everyone should know how it works.
But then you got to write a book if you want to add something new.
Yeah, you could like be like, oh, there's loopholes.
Dangerous, but yeah.
Yeah. From Michael J. Do you think we're getting I already read that. Alright, where are we? From Jeko. So assuming that Zoro will be king and Sanji will be queen, do Zoro and Sanji have a chance against Doflamingo? Yes, we've already explained this, Eric.
Yes.
Sanji's already beat Doflamingo at this point. That's how it is.
Correct.
From Cruisop, what do you think about Drew's video? We talked about it at the start. He didn't need the first 15 minutes. I don't know why he included that.
It's basically saying it's his opinion for the first 15 minutes, which we know it is.
But, like, it makes the video so impenetrable. It makes it so dense. And, like, we know what these are. Who's this video for? People who click on a One Piece criticism video know what subjective and objective is. People know what story structure is. I don't know that you need to explain it.
People know you don't have any credibility.
Yeah. I don't know that you need 50 minutes to explain it either.
Right.
But there you go. Yeah.
I do like your take, though, that he says there are definitive rules, but has no qualifications to define those rules.
Yeah, it's like you said you don't need to be qualified, and then you have rules that you're trying to quantify and objectively analyze.
But you have no qualifications.
But you're making by definition, you're making a call to authority because you're pointing to the rules and saying the rules aren't done right. Which it's a contradiction. I don't.
Right.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Am I wrong? No. So it's very strange, very weird.
Yeah.
But there it is. From Demi, do a Drit slander video full live reaction. We're not full live reacting
No.
to a 6-hour
I'm
video.
going to pass on that.
Pass on that one.
It'll probably
Gee.
be longer, so you have to pause it.
Yeah. From John Lee. How many chapters would you like the Shanks and Blackbeard fight to be? The entire series.
3 pages.
I mean, yeah, Shanks is going to one-shot Blackbeard. But I just want to see Shanks on screen.
We all do.
Alright. And what is realistic? You're going to give us at least as much as you gave us on Ace.
Listen, will it be literally Shanks fails to stop Blackbeard and Luffy has to jump in to surpass Shanks? Because how does that even happen? Like, how does Blackbeard go and take out Shanks? It makes no sense. That's a monumental commitment to resources.
Plus, all half his commanders would be dead.
No one would do this.
Again, and this is why emperors don't fight, because
it's a huge
they
commitment
lose
to
most
resources.
of their resources, and then another one would swoop in and knock them out.
Or the Navy.
Yeah. So,
But not
be very
Shanks,
hard to-
because he could one-shot anyone.
sure.
So he
but
just doesn't want to.
it'd be very hard to justify. But yeah. Last question here from Dart. Can Eric go more in depth about his tweet about art is subjectively better? I feel like art and stories are one of those things that's the most subjective. Now he was memeing. He's not saying. He asked the question which painting is better.
Which painting is objectively better in quotation marks, right?
Yeah.
A picture of the creation of Adam and a picture of Gattaca.
Alright, yeah.
One's Picasso
Yeah.
and the other one's the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
Right? To illustrate the point that both are masterpieces, Christian, that convey emotion
Yeah.
with extreme skill.
Yeah.
Illustrating the point that there's no real objective quality to any real art.
Yeah.
Because Yusha's point completely takes out abstractions and
Yeah, like breaking downs and fucking...
yeah, like it doesn't apply to anything else but storytelling, which is ridiculous.
And even so, like, different cultures have different storytelling structures and different...
Yeah, like the West is
expectations.
accustomed to patterns, and the East are accustomed to patterns.
And the Middle East and
Yeah.
Russia and, everywhere. Everywhere has their own different takes on story structure. And what is good, what is not good, and what is allowed and what is not allowed. It's very strange. But anyway. That's the final question, Eric.
There you go.
There was half this video about dreads. It was. But of course...
I'm sure many people ask a lot of questions as people watch the video.
Yeah. So... I don't even want... Because the video is like... It is what it is, man. Like... On one hand, I get what he's saying. But on the other hand, half of it is like half-baked theories. Where it's like... Sure, maybe Zoro defeating Monet is bad for his character. I guess. Like, that's just... People have made the points, Eric. People have made the points. I don't have to make the points.
I think anyone has made a legitimate point.
Yeah, there's good stuff in there, but... I don't know. I gotta talk to him about it, because... Part 2 is gonna be way tighter.
What'd you get up? Where did you even get up to?
I was watching the first 50 minutes. I'm like, what is this? I was watching, I was skipping through it. The first 50 minutes, every topic. Just listening to a few points at every topic. And then I went to Zoro's dream, Luffy's dream, Nami's dream. Which is like... we could get into it more later, but... It's just like annoying because... What story emphasizes side characters' dreams? Like, take Naruto. No one gives a fuck about Hinata's dream.
Right, but Oda makes a point to bring
But
up
Oda
the dream, right?
attempts it. He doesn't do it all the time because there's no fucking time to do it. It's really real time for the MC, maybe Zoro. But yeah, it's a whole other topic, Eric. It's a whole other thing. Alright, but there you go.
What?
But there you go. There's this week's episode.
Okay.
Alright. Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God King.
Good night.
Good night.